Today's the day! Today's the day! Finally we can get this over with. What's up guys, Freeman here, welcome back to another video. So it is Nofap day 1 and I've made a total mess. I hope those are clean. And yeah, I finally got my act together. I'm going to be restarting Nofap again this time for real, because the last few weeks have been pretty difficult. Just trying to get yourself back on balance again, and I found that it's Sober October today, or the first of a month, and that's the best time for me to actually restart anything, because I kept trying to, you know, restart and do the different Nofap stuff before, but it was like halfway in between work, and you come home and you're stressed, and it's like, oh, you know, what am I going to do? So I've got about 3 days off from now, I can finally get this over with, and I tell you, it is going to be easy, because I have made all the right precautions. I've cleaned my internet history, I've done all sorts of other stuff, at least I thought I did. Oh, I was wrong. So it's finally all clean now, everything is gone. That tripped me up so often, I swear to God. One of the things you absolutely have to do is you have to clear your internet history, because you're gonna come home, you're gonna be vulnerable, you're gonna be stressed, you're gonna be so tired, and it's the first thing that's gonna come up. It's gonna be something that you really do not want to be contending with. So I've cleaned off my history, I've got myself a routine, finally. I advise everyone to do this, plan out your days. And yet again, I keep finding, you know, it's not very good if I actually make a routine and I don't actually put it anywhere. Oh, here it is. So yeah, I've got like this interesting sheet that I've been printing out. It's like a timetable sheet of stuff to do. It's got a bit wet. And it's going to be like planning out all my days, all my hours, because you have to keep yourself busy when you're trying to quit anything. You have to keep yourself occupied. Every time I'm not talking to someone or on my computer or at work, I've got headphones in and I'm listening to a podcast, because I do not want my brain to be thinking of anything else other than whatever the hell someone is telling me about some video game or whatever the hell. You know, you got to keep your brain occupied, and if you don't, then you end up just falling back and just thinking to yourself, oh, I got this, it's easy, it's alright, and then 2 days in you find that you don't know what happened, you just possessed, and all of a sudden you've lost it. So all those precautions have been taken care of. My last streak was 132 days, so honestly, I tell you, I'm not at all worried at all about I'm not at all worried about relapsing. I'm not at all worried about, you know, having the first struggles, because when you've been doing it for such a long period of time, it gets very easy to just, you know, get through the first 2 weeks, because you know how to, you know, the way that you sort of slip yourself up. Like the way I used to do it is that I would deliberately spend more time behind the computer than I actually should do. And then what I would do is I'd then go onto the YouTube videos, and then I'd eventually think, oh, what else could I look at? And it's like, it's so subtle how it happens. So you just sort of trick yourself back into doing it. Sort of if you're, you know, if you're trying to create, you know, sugar or some sort of a cake, you'll find you've just found a magical reason to walk downstairs and open the fridge, and then you just stare into it for ages, which always happens to me. It's like being taken over by a ghost, quite frankly, because you're just staring into that thing for like a good 10 seconds. I'm like, what am I doing here? Why am I staring at cheese? I need to be doing something else. And just slam the thing and run back upstairs. So I'm going to keep myself so busy I do not have time to think. Saying that, the main things that I found that have really slipped me up over the years, not only is just letting myself spend too much time behind a computer, especially when it comes to Nofap, is complacency. I get so complacent, because you're so optimistic that everything's going to be absolutely fine, so you think to yourself, oh, you know, and then you start getting into the whole edging thing. I swear to God, I have slipped up so many times before from edging. It's sort of something that you just don't really think about, because it's like, oh, I've been doing it for 40 days, I suppose I, you know, deserve a bit of a break or something like that. And again, this really almost always happens whenever there's some sort of stress involved. So if there's a lot of stress and you don't have anything like exercise to really help out, then it's very easy to get to sit back onto that. Now about exercise. Exercise is one of those things that everyone has been telling me to do more of, but it's kind of like, I'll just do it later. So I have been doing 20 minutes of rebounding, which is a type of trampolining. It's basically trampolining. So I've got myself a mini trampoline, and the research behind it is quite interesting actually. According to NASA, it's like 69% more effective than jogging when it comes to cardio. And I tell you, 20 minutes on that thing and like the endorphins start kicking in, I just put on a movie or something like that, and I get off and I'm just really focused. Now, there's also something else I'm doing. It is Sober October, and I know that some people are going to be like, why the hell are you doing this to yourself? But I've decided to quit booze. Now, the last 2 days I've been in a 48-hour hangover because I've been a bit all over the place. But also I have, but also now that everything is sort of structured, I'm going to go for the full sober October. I'm not going to be having any sort of alcohol, as well as I'm going to try and quit sugar, and I've got my vape back. Now, again, I know what some of my old school listeners are saying is that you always do this to yourself, you always take everything too far and to the extreme, but you know what? It's what I do, and I can't stop myself. And I've also found that if I don't take it to the extreme, it's very easy to slip up. Like, for example, if I wanted to quit smoking and then all of a sudden I keep drinking, if you drink, you want to smoke. And if you smoke, then you feel like crap, and then at the end of a really stressful day, you come home and all you can think about is drinking. So I find quitting everything is actually easier than just quitting one thing and then working it down. Now, I'm not an idiot. If back in the old days, I would have not have had some sort of a supply of nicotine, and I would not have replaced the bad habits, the old bad habits, with good ones. And that's the key to quitting any addiction. One of the keys. You got to replace it. You got to replace it with something, because that addiction was there because of a specific emotional need. You had something to fill, you know, or maybe you're just really bored and you don't have any structure in your life and you're not getting out and challenging yourself. You need to fill that void with something else. So I filled it with structure, exercise, order, and vape, and a few other things that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be going on a few road trips soon, hopefully, and spending just in general more time with friends, because you need to replace that with something else. Which is the reason why I failed so often, because I'd shut myself in my room, I'd be isolationist, I'd be in a full liquiditarian diet, I'd, you know, go out and I'd do some exercise, but then I'd be so bored, and the boredom would just escalate to the point where it's just like, I need to smoke right now. And it kind of felt like like I had no control over my legs sometimes, because you get to a certain point and then eventually it's just like, okay, alright, there's nothing here, you know, because the brain needs that to be filled. So it's like, alright, there's nothing here, I'm just going to go back to where I was before because I need that. Whatever it is. Anyway, so this is Nofap Day 1. Hopefully it's going to be, let's go for 160, because last time was 132 and the time before that was like 80. So yeah, 160. I'll see you all later. Peace.